Welcome back to the Lights Out podcast, bedtime stories for boys and girls around the world. Good evening, boys and girls. Are you ready for bed? Are you all snuggled up and ready for the Lights Out bedtime story? Good, because you're in for a treat tonight with chapter 10 of Fing by, I was going to say Roald Dahl, by Fing by David Williams. And this chapter 10 is called Aghastliest. I think, began Myrtle, her tongue tracing the plate for any uneaten crumbs. Having a Fing as a pet would be a big fat disaster. Mr. and Mrs. Meek let out a humongous sigh of relief. Oof! Their lives have been spared. Oh, we couldn't agree more, exclaimed Mother. Father beamed. You took the words right out of our mouths. The creature would destroy everything, Myrtle continued. Oh, you are so right. Righter than right, cooed Mrs. Meek. What a clever girl you are, agreed Mr. Meek. The car, the house, everything. You might even kill all of us. Oh, excellent point, agreed Father. Yes, best not die if you can possibly avoid it, echoed Mother. Who on earth would want a Fing as a pet? Ha ha! Myrtle laughed. Her parents joined in. Ho ho ho! Hee hee hee! Even the Monsterpedia seemed to wobble around, chuckling silently to itself. Me! Replied Myrtle. The laughter died instantly. Mr. and Mrs. Meek couldn't believe their ears. The book stopped dead still. I want a Fing as a pet. But, began Mother. No buts, shouted the girl, and she bashed her parents' heads together for emphasis. Clonk. Oh, ouch! I said I want a Fing and I want it now. Mr. and Mrs. Meek looked at each other, aghast. Both were so aghast it was impossible to tell who was the most aghast, or, to give it an improper word, the Aghastliest. You can decide for yourself by studying these two Aghastliest pictures. Oh. For goodness sake, don't take too long deciding. We have a story to be getting on with. Please let's agree that they were both extremely aghast, as indeed you'd be if you had to bring a deadly animal into your home. Now all they had to do was find one. The end of chapter 10, Aghastliest, in the book Fing by David Williams, here on the Lights Out podcast. Bedtime stories for boys and girls around the world. Good night. And if you've been listening this far to the show, you'll know that we are creeping ever so close to the big 500th episode. And I'm a bit nervous, and I think that's why I haven't been reading any stories for the last few days. I just don't know what to read for the 500th episode. It's keeping me up at night. But anyway, I will come to a decision, because I don't really just want to read another chapter of Fing. I want to make it a special occasion. So if you have any ideas, do let me know. Anyway, I'll let you get off to sleep. Good night.